Hello friends, welcome to our channel, and we are going to talk about Goa Carbon, which is a small cap company with a market capital of 367 crore. Yesterday itself it has given a good breakout, and today's high was 431, but the closing came down to 386.40. So we'll talk about this in our chart analysis, but before that we'll just have a look at the fundamentals of Goa Carbon. So Goa Carbon is India's first Indian producer exporter of calcined petroleum coke. It is the first ISO 9000 certified calciner in India, listed in BSE and NSE. 3 locations across India and annual projected sales USD 116 million, and green coke or RPC source globally. It has more than 30 years experience in calcination. So if we look at the acquisitions, so during 1999 it acquired Bilaspur calcining unit, which has a production capacity of 40,000 tons per year, and during 2001 acquired Paradeep unit, which has a production capacity of 1,25,000 tons per year. So it has 3 plants: Bilaspur plant, Goa plant and Paradeep plant. All the plants are ISO 9001 and ISO 14001 certified. It deals with the green coke production also. And if you look at the sales, the Goa and Paradeep plants are export oriented, and the clients for this export are worldwide as well as domestic. The company export 25% of its production. It has satisfied customer across the world, and it deals in shipment also. Now if you look at the customer list, this is just a partial list. If we go to the site and if we have a look at their customer, then this is the overseas client list, which includes Greece, France, Russia, Australia, South Africa, Malaysia, Australia, Dubai, England, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Egypt, Singapore, everywhere, like almost covers most of the countries, major countries. And when it comes to the domestic client, it has Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Karnataka, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Hyderabad, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Belgaum, Pune, Bhopal, the list goes on. Okay, so looking at all this, the long list of domestic as well as overseas, you can imagine the production for all these 3 plants must be very humongous, and the net sales or profit margin which comes, that also comes very good. That we have already seen our quarterly result. We'll have a look at the result also. So that was all about the customers and the sales. Now we will talk about the position statement for the last 3 years. So they have the major increase in petroleum price. Raw material cost also increased by 100% over the last 3 years. Then the customer price take their time to increase. The business is on long term contract. Okay, so though the raw material prices increase, they can easily pass on this to their consumer by adding the prices. Now if we look at the business plan in the medium term, the customer feedback to GCL are very positive for volume increase, export as well as domestic. The Paradeep will be focus area for the growth, and Middle East an area of interest proposal being studied, and they are also looking into the power generation. Okay, so if we look at the financial performance, the price increase on both domestic and export sale, which is really good news for the company, and the reducing the credit period to customer to improve the cash flow. Any company, we always look for the debt free company or the company which is having a more cash flow. So that suggests like they are doing really good in their performance as well as in their quarterly results. The company they are also focusing in the new customer, their push volume and look domestic, and also at steel. The lower cost imported raw material versus domestic raw material, and high capacity utilization. The next thing is the repayment of higher cost terms loans, ISTs, reduce interest burden by availing ECBs instead of normal working capital borrowing from Indian bank. Focus on domestic market where margins are higher, possibility of trading in CPC to augment top line. So these are all good things which are happening with the company. Now let's have a look and the quarterly results. So if we look at the last quarterly result, the net sales have been increased from 87.98 crore to 150.52 crore. The quarterly net profit has increased from 5.03 to 6.16 crore, and the EBITDA has been increased from 2.09 crore to 9.86 crore, and the Goa Carbon EPS also increased from 5.49 to 6.74. so overall the results are really good, and looking at the demand across the world as well as the domestic demand, we can say that yes, the next quarterly result will also be good for the Goa Carbon company. Okay, now on the 8th of December, there was a news saying Goa Carbon Share hits upper circuit after November production jumps 58%. The three plants, including Bilaspur plant, produced 434.200 MT, while the Goa plant produced 5,590 MT, and the Paradip plant produced 8,285 MT. Okay, so if we look at the capacity of the plant, the capacity is increasing on yearly basis, and the company's production of the petrochemical is also up by 58.8%. So if we look at the SWOT analysis by the company, what we see, SWOT analysis produced by the trend line is, it says the growth in the net profit with increasing profit margin, company with a zero promoter pledge. Zero promoter pledge is like the promoter sometimes to get the funding from the bank, they just they take a loan and keep their shares as a collateral. Okay, so here there is a zero promoter pledge, which is a really good thing. The promoter holding is around 50% over here, and that has been constant for last few years. The company stock gained more than 20% in 1 month. The company with a low debt, and the recent result, growth in operating profit with increase in operating margin, strong momentum, price above short, medium and long term moving averages. So see, whenever we go for a for purchasing of any stock, we look for all this thing, and like zero promoter pledge, low no debt, and the profit margins are good. So everything over here looks very good. And looking at this thing, we can see that the opportunities for the company in the near future are really good. So now all this thing, we'll have a look at the chart. So here is the resistance trend line we have drawn on a daily chart. Okay, what we have seen over here is like yesterday's trading, there is a, if you see, this is a strong Marabuzo candle which shows there is a strength, and it has crossed this resistance trend line. So that's a breakout for any stock, and after that breakout it has given a high of 430, and today it came down. Okay, so any stock, when it is in a breakout or it goes off, it changes the direction, because we see like it was just continuously falling over here, and whenever it was hitting the trend line, again it was falling back. So whenever it is giving a breakout, sometimes it comes back and it tests the support. So we can say this is as either it's a profit booking or it's going to test the support, and the support is here. The resistance trend line will act as a support trend line now. So the support is around 355 for on daily chart. Now if we go and look at the weekly chart, so what do we see over here? So on a weekly chart, if you have a look here, so continuously the stock price was falling, and it made a low over here, and after that if you see this resistance trend line, it has given a breakout, done a sometimes consolidation, and after that here again we see there is another trend line which we have drawn, and it has given a breakout. So if we look at this on a weekly chart, there is a kind of rounding bottom has been formed over here. Okay, so after the formation of this rounding bottom, if we see that 490 is acting a kind of resistance. So whenever it goes and touches 490, it again falls down. But now when we see this, this time the 324 is acting as a support, and from 324 it has given a bounce back. So when we look at this, the pattern formation is kind of a rounding bottom, and then this is like cup and handle. So this is a cup and this is a handle. So okay, so if this is forming as a cup and handle, what we can see, like if this goes up and it sustains support of 324, then the immediate target we see is a target of 490. Okay, so this cup and handle is a really strong bullish moment. It shows a strong bullish momentum and it's really good. It's one of the strong pattern we call in stock market. So if this form, so we can see as a target of 490, and if it sustained 490, it might happen like it might fall down. But if it's sustained over here and it gives a little bit of breakout and again retest, then we can see a immediate target of 627 over here. So for the cup and handle pattern, once the breakout is happen, the targets are always larger. So if you are keeping this stock for a longer term, then you can see the third target of 760 also. Okay, so as long as the stock is holding support of 324, there is a upside. For short term you can look for 490, and for longer term, if the cup and handle breakout happens, this is really subject to if the cup and handle breakout happened and sustained, then we can see the long term target of 760. So I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much.